Hey friends, welcome back to Crusty Cranks. All right, we got my hands on one of those follow forms molds, and I'm telling you, it's awesome. I'll put a link down. Jonas is a cool dude, and he'll get it out to you right away if you want to get one of these molds from him. I'm playing around right now with different resins and different weights and different levels of micro balloons, but I think I pretty well perfected it, and at least for what I'm trying to do. And I think I'll do a video on how I made these, and that way if you get yourself a mold, it'll help you make some without wasting a lot of material. But I'm excited to get some of these up for you and show you how I'm painting these. I took a few. I've actually made like six or seven of them. One of them didn't turn out too good, my first one, but the rest of them are all looking pretty good. So yeah, I got some ideas with making the mold, using the mold, different ideas, and I'll put a video up on that probably here shortly. But I thought I would show you a couple different patterns I've been doing on these things, and yeah, so you can paint some. I know everybody's going to ask, will I sell any of these? I will. But let me get everything perfected to where I can send you a good lure. Anyway, so but we'll talk about that later. Let's get on to painting one of these crawls. All right. So here's the colors we're going to use on this one. Now, like I said, I've got a few different patterns that I'm doing on these, and this one's going to be real easy and simple, but it looks awesome. Okay, so we're going to use, I got this at Walmart. I got this at Hobby Lobby. These are antiquing paints, and this particular color is Expresso, 2937. It's a folk art, okay? And then we're going to use some sand, transparent sand. We're going to use some burnt umber, wicked detail burnt umber, and we're going to use fluorescent orange. And one of my buddies that gets a bunch of baits from me all the time, he likes crawls with orange belly, so this one's going to be sick. He said, make me some of them. When he seen my prototype when I did, he said, make me some of them. So I'm going to do one, and actually I'll probably do a few of them, but I'm just going to stick to one. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to take this antiquing medium, and it's called Expresso. It's the color I went with. I've actually done one in a different color too, a different antiquing. But what we're going to do is we're going to take, I got a nice stiff brush here because I want to get this down in all the cracks and crevices. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit the camera. All right, and we're just going to take that and we're just going to coat this guy down. And I did put a couple drops of reducer in it just so it wouldn't dry so fast. I want it to still be a little wet when I put it on there. Or when it dries a little bit, I want it to dry a little slower, because we're going to wipe it off. We're going to put it on and wipe it off. But what I found out was with this resin, it kind of soaks that up a little bit. And it fills in all the little pores. It really gives it a cool effect. So we're just going to brush all that on. We want to make sure we get down in all these little cracks and crevices. This lure is so cool. He did a great job on designing this. I'm sure these are going to be all over the place. People buying molds and making them. I know out here, man, I'm going to sell them like crazy. That's why I want to perfect the I want to perfect the swim on it. I'm going to play around with some different bills and stuff, and I'll let you guys know what I did and what works and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm playing around with different weights, trying to get a slower sink and floating. The ones, if you use the methods which I show you in the next video on these, you will find out that you can do a couple different things with the mold. So I've been playing around with it. But it sits in the water nose down the way it's designed with the proper weights on it. So I have to take this loose a little bit. Hope you guys can see that. Oh, about to drop it. I need to get my clip. Let me clip this on here. I actually did it with my hand, with it on the clip before, but trying to do it in front of the camera might be a little challenging. But I'm going to try to get it so you guys can see what I'm doing here. But pretty much we're just going to wipe this off. We're going to brush it on, let it sit for just a minute or two. Let that resin absorb that up a little bit. I didn't do nothing to prime it on this one. There's a couple other ones I did prime. But I wanted the resin to soak this up. Okay. Now I'm going to let that go just a minute. I'll bring you back and we'll wipe it off. I'll show you what it does. Okay. I've let it sit for a few minutes. I don't want it to dry too much because I don't want to have to use a Scotch-Brite pad or anything, but I'm just going to take this and old sock here, clean old sock. And we'll start wiping it off. And I just wipe it lightly. Keep moving my rag. Find a clean spot on my rag. And you don't even have to be real perfect with it because it's like each one's going to be a little bit more unique. But you can just take off as much as you want and get that desired effect. If you want it a little lighter, just wipe it a little harder. You just don't want to clean out those crawl body down here too much. And leave as much of that as you can. Put it back on my clip so I can get this tip real good. All right. Like I said, it don't even have to be perfect. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry. I'll bring you back and we'll put the next color on. Okay, I think we're dry enough. Give it a little heat with the heat gun, or the hair dryer, just a little bit. just to speed it up a little bit. But as you can see, that antiquing stuff does awesome. All right, next we're going with our fluorescent orange, and we're going to lay a little, and I'm using my new Gaahleri Mobius 0.2. This brush is nice. I'm really starting to like it. I've been painting a bunch with it. But let's give him a fluorescent belly. Like I said, my buddy, he likes them orange craws. And you guys have seen the other videos where I've painted the crankbait craws before. He loves them things, and I did one with some orange pinchers. Maybe I'll do that on a video. But oh man, he was tearing them up. That's what he said anyway, you know. But he loves that bait, and when he's seen these, he's like, I gotta have one with the orange belly. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give it an orange belly, so you can see how that orange belly leaves that detail in there. All right, so that's it. We're just gonna let it come up the side just a hair. I don't want it on the shell. I want to keep it. If it's okay if it goes up on the tail a little bit. I want to keep it off the shell, but I want to get the underside of that shell. All right, let's let that dry real quick, and I'll bring you back. We'll put the next color on. Okay, at the start of the video, I forgot a step, and this is really important for the next step that we're doing. But I'm gonna hit this thing with some UVLS clear, and these things scratch real easy, so I'm gonna put a coat on here just to protect everything. Because my next thing we're going to do is wrap this with some sisal wrap. And the first time I did it, I scratched the orange with my clips. So the second one I did, I coated it with, or actually I went back and touched it up and then sprayed some UVLS on it just to seal it in. I don't know why I didn't think of it in the first place, but don't forget to do that, because if you go doing this technique, next technique we're going to do, you're going to scratch it. So, and that goes with anything you're painting. If you're doing them quick and you don't have time to really let them sit and air dry real good, you know, hit it with UVLS. The stuff dries pretty good and gives you a nice coating and protects everything underneath. And then you can put your stencils on, or your wraps, or whatever you're going to do to it. It just helps. So, got a nice coat on there now. It's all shiny. Let that dry back. And then we're going to wrap it with some sisal wrap. The red stuff, you guys have seen me use it. Everybody asks me what it is. It's really called Tool, I guess. Sisal Tool. You can find it on Amazon. It's like you can buy a huge roll for like 10 or 12 bucks. At least that's what it was when I bought it. I don't know, with the prices of everything now going up, it's probably more, but I haven't looked in a while. But a whole roll will last you forever. I'm still using 3 or 4 or 5 pieces that I've been using for quite a while. So, all right, let me dry that up, and we'll be back and we'll wrap her up. I'll probably go ahead and wrap it before, but I'll tell you what I did. Okay, got my sisal wrap on here. And I just did one, like I folded it over once and then put it on there. Now you could put this color on first if you wanted to, before you did your antiquing, or you could spray this over after you did your antiquing. or you can do it this way. The only reason I didn't on these, because I kind of wanted to, instead of just primering it with sand, I kind of wanted to get a little more different texture look on the back of the shell. So that's why I'm doing it like this. So I'm using the transparent sand, and I got it down kind of low. I don't want to like really kill all my antiquing, but I want that little bit of a sand color underneath my next layer. So that's what I'm doing, and you'll see, kind of see the effects of it. But either way, the resin's almost the color of the sand if you're using if you use the quick resin, the 2-minute resin, the tan version. But I really just want to get those spots where I kind of wiped it, and then give this a little more different texture on it. I don't know. It turned out pretty good on the first one I did, so we'll see what this one looks like. This sand is a good crawl color when they're light at certain times of the season. All right, just a little thin layer of sand on there, and then we'll come back and put the next color on. All right, give that a few minutes to dry. And I think I still got some UVLS in my brush, but I think we'll just go with it. You could spray another coat on there. I will when I get done, when I get this next color on. So that's why I kind of left it in my other brush there. All right, so this one I used had no paint on it when I first used it. So you can see it kind of puts little spots on there, and it darkens up the brown a little bit. I'm liking it. All right, let's go next. We're going to take and always, I've said this before, it's just a little tip. Save the ones that you've used a bunch of that's got paint on them, because it makes that a little thicker as you start building up paint on it. It makes it a little thicker, and you can get different little patterns with it. But instead of just keeping that one on there, and instead of keeping that one on there, and I'm going to put a different one on that'll give me a little different pattern over top of that pattern that I just sprayed. So it's a little tip for you. Just keep them. Keep spraying on them and keep using them, and you'll get different ones with different thicknesses of paint on there, and it kind of gives them different looks. It's just what I like to do, but I'm just some guy that paints baits on YouTube, so you do what you want. Like I said, you could just coat the whole thing in sand if you want that color underneath a little more dominant. But I'm just playing around, and it turned out pretty cool, so I'm going to do it the same way I did the other one. And if you guys like these, let me know in the comments, and I'll do some different ones. I really got some ideas with these. Maybe I'll do a little series of them, and then that way you guys, if you get a mold or whatever, you'll have a bunch of different painting options and ideas to put to your baits. That's really what I do on this channel, is just kind of give you ideas. You know, you can always use different colors. I think one with a sepia will be cool. I'll do one with that. Probably do a blue craw. I got some different antiques, so I'm definitely going to try some different antiques and see what kind of effects I get from those. Let me pull this off real quick and get it tight. Okay, I think that'll do it. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys want to see some more. I'll do some different ones. I'm definitely going to do a blood crawl next, probably. I got a bunch of videos that I'm coming up. I got a couple, like 3 of them now. I'm editing to get up for you guys. Got to catch up with everybody. It looks like everybody's putting out videos. So I'm in the process of rebuilding the whole Crusty Cranks website. So me and the girl that works for me, we've been working on all the photographs and stuff like that, and getting my stock back up for upcoming shows, events that I'm going to be doing. So yeah, and if I'll maybe do some more, I got some new paints. I got a bunch of flash paints and what do you call them, iridescents, a whole new line of those I want to try. I bought all the Createx fluorescents that are available, so I'm definitely going to do some different ones of those because people like those fluorescent baits. They just go crazy over those. So all right, so next I'm going to load up the brush with Wicked Detail Burnt Umber, and we're going to spray this on, and then we're going to dry it, take it off, and we're going to coat the back with it a little bit, darken it up a little more on the back, and we'll be ready to put some eyes on this guy. All right. I didn't even clean out my brush. I just sprayed a little cleaner in, sprayed it through, and then went right to the detail burnt umber. So that way the first little bit of it's going to have a little bit of sand in it still, which will darken it up a little bit. Darken that sand up a little bit. And the detail burnt umber has a little bit of a red hue to it. And like I said, it's another good crawl color. You can build it up and get as dark as you want. Got some new lights coming too that I'm going to hang up under some get a little more backlighting, hopefully take those shadows out a little bit from the videos. I'm really trying to improve the videos, guys, and so let me know if you think they're getting better when you see different results. I want the quality to be as good as I can possibly get it, so you guys can actually see the colors and see the iridescence and see the color shifts. And my lighting here, all I'm using is an overhead LED. You want to spray that a little bit down there, just so that little bit of a pattern shows up. And then wherever that's overlapping the sand pattern, kind of get a little different look. And I got it turned down. Always turn your pressure down when you're using stuff like this, these wraps and stuff. That way you don't blow underneath of it and lose your whole pattern. Same thing when you're doing like a screen, like a scale pattern or something like that. Turn your pressures down and don't use too much reducer. Try to get your reducer down to where you're not using so much. Sometimes you get a little carried away with the reducer and it makes it runny, especially when you're using stencils. So at least that's what I found. But like I said, I'm just some guy on YouTube who paints baits for videos. But we're getting there right now. It's starting to look good. I have to get this side a little bit more. All right, I'm going to dry this, pull it off, and then I'll bring it back and we'll darken that back a little bit. Okay, let's do the reveal. See what she looks like. It's always the exciting part of it, is when you get to peel these off and see what you did. Or see if it looks bad or looks good. Oh. It's always that old factor right there. Yeah. Okay, let's darken that back up a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. There's a sprue on this bait. When you cut it off, and then you try to sand on it, if you sand it with rough sandpaper, it shows up really bad. So I got a little technique. Got a little technique. Gets rid of that, but we're darkening it up, so. Let's go down the sides just a little bit. We don't want to lose our detail. We want to keep that in there still. And let's get the nose a little bit and darken up the eyes. Should have put it on a clip. And let me use one of these real quick. Shoot. I have to say, he did a great job on this mold. And this lure, the design is just amazing. He's got some other ones. He's got a 1.5 and then another one that's kind of like a, I guess kind of like a little Norman little end. But I can get those ordered too. I'm gonna do those. But there we go. Let's bring this down just a little bit. On the shoulders. Darker towards the tail. I like it. All right. I'm going to dry this. I'm going to hit it, since I still got some UVLS in the brush. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. I won't show you that, but and we're going to put some red eyes on it. I got to see what red eyes I got left. All right. I'll bring you back. Okay, guys, totally apologize. My battery died on my camera and I lost the eye video, but that's okay. I'll go over it and show you the eyes close up here in a second. But I want to shout out to our newest subscriber and newest member to the family, the Crusty family. It's Cecil from Elliotteville Adventures. We got him up on the board, and yeah, he sent me a couple beautiful lures and some soft plastics. Can't wait. We're going crappie fishing next week, and I want to get out there and tear up some crappies. They're moving pretty good right now, and I love to eat crappie. But yeah, welcome Cecil and Elliotteville Adventures. He's a new painter, and he's doing some great work. He sent me some beautiful baits, but I really appreciate it. But if you guys want to trade a lure, I still trade lures. Just send me your information through email, and we'll make the exchange. But I also like to shout out all my members that are always supporting my channel, like Charlie from Ugly Dog Lures, and Charlie Carter from Carter's Custom Lures, and Len from Connecticut Custom Lures. He's always commenting on my videos, and Tom from Fish Math. Appreciate all you guys. And like I said, if you want to get your sticker on the board and you want to trade a lure, I'm more than happy to do that with you. My people come to check out my, or come to pick up their orders, or my fisherman buddies come down here and they see your lures hanging on my net over there, and they can't believe some of the work you guys are doing. So I appreciate it, and yeah, let's trade a lure. But okay, so let's zoom in and get a finished look on this bait and tell you what we did. Okay, so got the booth all set up over there because we're rebuilding the Crusty Cranks website, and we're taking photographs, and we got the lighting all set perfect, so we don't want to mess with it. And I said, well, I got a new subscriber to put up on the board, and I'll put the board up for everybody. So yeah, that's what we did. Now the eyes, I ended up not having any more red eyes that was that size. I got to get some more 6s. I burned through them things like crazy. So I went with a creature, kind of a reptile eye, the dragon eye, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm really liking it. I think it makes it look pretty cool since it's kind of a creature bait. But yeah, it looks freaking cool. So colors we used today, first we started off with the antiquing, rub that antiquing in. That was Expresso by Folk Art. And then we hit the belly with the fluorescent orange. Top coated it with some UVLS clear, 4050 gloss. Then we went over it with the sisal wrap and transparent sand. And then on top we did the final color of burnt umber, wicked detail burnt umber. And topped it off one more time with the UVLS. Now I didn't coat this lure yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to use. I think I'm going to go with some Bob Smith, because I don't want my epoxy to fill up the I want to keep that texture on there. So I think I'm going to go with something like Bob Smith, and I got to glue the bill in anyway. So yeah, I'll probably go with that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. I'm definitely going to do some more of these crawls. I really like doing these, and I think they'll be good sellers. So yeah, let's do some more. Yeah, appreciate all you guys subscribing. I really enjoy interacting with you through emails and comments and things like that. So please comment, like, and share. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and look forward to more of these crawls. I don't know what we'll call them yet. We might call them Crusty Craws. I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, stay crusty, my friends, and we'll see you on the next one.